Everybody, welcome to another night here on Northwoods TCG. That's right, today we're going to be having some fun talking about Prismatic Evolutions. What are we seeing? What can we predict that could happen here in the future? And how do we truly feel about the set in general? Overall, I think that there's been a little bit of slack in pull rates. Pull rates seem to be a little bit more difficult. I do know some people are losing interest in it very fast. Do I think that that's going to affect the market? Probably not. That's just my overall opinion right now on it. Because currently, I just don't see it being a big factor when it comes down to the actual market itself. I think overall, the lack of product is going to be the more concerning thing futuristically for how things are going to perform and where we're going to go on it. But from what I'm getting out of it, it sounds like we're going to have plenty of products still coming down the pipeline as well. Keep your eye on retail stores. It sounds like, especially talking to the MJ Holding rep last week, really sounds like they're holding some back as well. They're letting the hype kind of die down on the retail side of things. So, for example, the Walmart that I usually get from, I was there actually as he was still, and he blocks off the aisle, so I know what he had was actually what he had available. And there's a bunch of people waiting. I didn't get any at the retail area, of course, because I just wasn't going to fight with people for it. But I did talk to him just after he got everything loaded up because I was curious to know what they were seeing on the distribution side or what he had been hearing from MJ Holding side of things. And basically, he says that they're kind of holding back a little bit on these waves. They're doing a slow implementation of release. So versus what they've done in the past where they just fill the shelves, they're kind of doing a slow implementation on the Prismatic Evolution. So definitely watch for several weeks. They're going to do small releases. So for example, he let on our Walmart, he put out 2 ETBs and he put out 4 of the poster collection or the binder collections, and he put out 4 of the poster collections, and that was it. So realistically, really down for the amount that they put on the shelf for a release, but it was once again kind of one of those intentional deals. Another factor I found out from ACD and from Southern Hobby is the Techno stickers. They had an issue with the printing on those, so we'll probably be seeing more of them come into circulation in the future. But they are down right now on the quantity. They have some. They got some of them for the release on time, but they didn't get a lot. So it sounds like there was a processing issue with something in that particular box. So a large portion of that allocation is getting pushed ahead, possibly to one of the next 2 releases coming up. So there was some production issues as well when it came down to the Techno stickers pack. It wasn't necessarily in the booster packs itself. It just sounds like some of the add-ons inside of the boxes were part of the issue for that particular product. But otherwise, very limited stock out there at retailers. I'm seeing some retailers like areas such as Excel seem to put out large quantities because I see Targets with full shelves and people fighting over those. Best Buy had quite a few on the shelf at release, but it seems like MJ Holding might be being a little bit smarter on the release system this time versus what they've done in the past. So that's definitely going to be something to be watching for week after week after week. If you're trying to find this product for yourself to open, if you are looking for this product in general and hunting for it, I think Walmarts and that are definitely going to have slow release when it comes down to that. So that's going to be something we're going to be watching and seeing how that continues to move forward. Other thing is that if you did get in with the 4 packs of the Pokemon exclusive ETBs, they did come in a case, so I do have a case of those, which kind of sucks. I kind of want to open one for myself and then sell 2 of them, but now I don't want to break the case. So it's kind of created a new conundrum for myself is that I really don't want to break that case premium, but I also don't want to sell all 4 of them because I only have 4. So now I'm going to have to make a decision on whether or not I want to keep one or not, or how I want to proceed with that and cut the case open or not. So yeah, that's going to be a really interesting part on that as well. So yeah, that's going to be a new conundrum. So do I want to keep one? Do I want to sell all 4 in the market and hope the price drops, which I do not think that's going to happen. I think that that's a very unrealistic thing for the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, just because of the fact that the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes seem to be more, I want to say, more exclusive than what they were in Sword and Shield. We haven't seen reprints of them. Usually there can be restocks of them. I heard that on release, now is the time where after release we might see a little bit of a restock of them for like credit cards that didn't get processed on the date that they're released or those kind of things. But in general, we're going to be very slim, I think, on those particular products. So I'm looking up Prismatic Evolutions. I want to look at the Elite Trainer boxes because they did go down in price because they were about $400. They did drop down. Yeah, they're still about $250. They dropped down because they were almost $400 up to $390, $400 on release, but still they're at $250 currently on today's market price. And once again, do I think that that's going to be the bottom? I think it has a really good shot at that potentially being the bottom on this particular product, just because the fact is that there may not be any more of these coming, and if there's no more coming into the system, that's going to be one of the features that we're going to be looking at. Is potentially there won't be any more coming into the system. No more coming into the system means the supply is going to be locked, the stock is going to be locked, and if the stock is locked for what we're at right now, I mean, everybody should have gotten it at this point in time. Maybe a couple lost orders, but in general, probably 99.9%. I'm just throwing it once again, statistics are all whatever you make them. 99.9% of them are probably delivered in people's hands. So there's not going to be a large number of those coming. I'm sure that there's might be a small quantity coming from restock that people are going to try and grab when they relist them. If they did, I may have missed it, to be honest. When I got a case, I wasn't even paying attention. So they may have already relisted it, and they may have gone through already and cleaned up what was left, because they do tend to do that after the release of these products. So overall, Prismatic is out in the wild here and there. It's very spotty. My LCS, I did get the case from there, but once again, that's at retail cost, so that's a kick. I did actually get some for my streaming service, but once again, it's at retail cost. Isn't as big of an issue on this. It was my fail safe, but it did work out where I did at least have some for sales, and it went extremely quick. A lot of people bringing up the fact that people are selling this extremely high, even your normal streamers and stuff, but even like myself, in a lot of businesses, you got to consider a lot of businesses are in a situation where we didn't get any stock, you didn't get any quantity, so we still got to keep the doors open, especially for smaller businesses and streamers. It's not like I can fall back on Surging Sparks. It's not like I can fall back to, Stellar Crown. I can't fall back to Twilight Masquerade. What we have available right now is what you have available. So in order to keep your doors open, you have to capitalize on this. Did I sell them at $18 a pack? No, I was selling them at $12 a pack. That's where I figured it would float me through until Journey Together comes out. So at least that way I don't completely lose on a set with the 10 ETBs that I got. So once again, it's a crazy market right now, absolutely insane. And it's going to continue to be insane, I think, until we see a substantial reprint. There's been talk of reprint coming on this particular product, so distributors are saying that they're looking at a reprint in probably April of ETBs. Southern Hobby, kind of talking to them on the phone. I gave them a call to see where we were at, see if I could get any stock out of them, anything that was left behind. Pretty much scrapping to try and find something out of this set. And basically, they said that they're wondering if the last release of Prismatic Evolutions, there may be more product to come up with that as well. So we might see more product or more ETBs become available on that last release. I think it's coming up in March. So potentially in March, on the last release of Prismatic Evolutions, we might see more ETBs at that point. So am I saying to go out and buy and hype and FOMO on this? No, I don't. I'm not getting in on any of these high prices right now. Currently, the prices are just way too many things, and that's a big factor. Is that this set could go the other way extremely quick. I don't think it's going to be a long-term drive down. So if you see reprints come and you want to get on the set, it's definitely something you're going to want to do sooner than later. So if you do hear of a reprint, if you hear of releasing on these reprints and stuff, it's definitely something you're not going to want to sleep on, I think, the next round through, because I feel like this is going to be a lot like Evolving Skies. You'll see short dips, and then if you don't get in on those short dips, you're going to end up being in a situation where you miss out again, and then the price is just going to go up to the point where they stop selling these. Right now, we're at about 215 to 217, right around, so 215 to 220 right now for an ETB. We're still, in my opinion, way too high. We're nowhere near the 150 that we were at, 140, 150 pre-release. But we've definitely come down to about 120 now, which to me is still pretty ridiculous for the price of an ETB right at release. And once again, you sit there and listen to people talk about investors ruining the hobby. As an investor, I'm not buying any of this stuff at $120 and hoping that that price continues to hold. There's going to be opportunity. There's going to be time. This set's brand new. Pokemon's not completely stupid, and could be reprinted, just like we've seen with with wow, I'm drawing a complete blank. Shining Fates. We could see a Shining Fate situation, where we could see multiple reprints of this particular product keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. So overall, I'm not too in the investment side of things when it comes to Prismatic Evolutions. It's going to be hard to find in the wild. It's going to disappear really quickly. It might get pocketed where some of the places you wouldn't think of are the places you should probably be checking again. So if you have, like myself, there's Walgreens kind of hides a section. They're always delayed. They're never on release. So in a month or so, I might be starting to watch Walgreens because we might get these little pocketed areas of products. CVS, another one that's the same as Walgreens. You're going to get these little pocketed areas where you might be able to find these things. Some little smaller LGSs that people don't think about, that don't usually go there for Pokemon, might have them hiding there as well. And that is something that's going to be really, really interesting to see how well that's gonna pan out when we're moving forward, and where we're gonna find these little pocketed deals, and where we're gonna continue to find these little pocketed items that we have going on right now. So it's definitely something that, like I said, it's going to be an interesting market here moving forward. Do I think this is going to be the last we're going to see of ETBs? No, I think that I'm hearing some YouTube channels saying that this is a one and done and that you should jump in, don't miss out. I don't think we're at that situation in this particular set. I think that there's plenty of this in line. So, anyways, that's where we're kind of at. What I'm seeing on Prismatic Evolutions and what the word is on the street right now. Is there concern right now? Should you be dumping big money on Prismatic as a investment? If you bought in at 120, do I think you're going to lose money? No, I don't think you're going to lose money at that price point. Do I think you're going to be at another version of Shining Fates where if we spend 120 on this set that it's never going to get up into that value point? No, I don't feel that either. I think that it will come back to that rather quickly. You're going to see quick recovery on this set, even if you get reprint after reprint after reprint. If we don't see reprints pretty quickly here, then we're definitely going to have another situation possibly where we could see spikes in this market that get a little bit out of control. But in general, definitely take your time. Be vigilant for that product on the shelves if you're looking for something for yourself to open. Personally, I would let a lot of this stuff just kind of go right now and let people have fun with this set because the pull rates are tough. Not even gonna lie, from what I've even opened myself out of that pack of 10, 10 pack of even that 10 pack of ETBs, we didn't pull any SIRs out of that pack, so we didn't get any SIRs. Got a couple Vs, got a couple full art trainers, we got a bunch of the just the regular EXs off of Prismatic, but overall the pull rates have been pretty pathetic on it. Just not even gonna lie, it's really difficult to get into the set in general. Like usually most sets, like even Surging Sparks and that, you start hitting a rhythm where you start hitting some hits and you start having some fun and things start moving. Everything gets exciting. Everything starts to become fun, and because you're getting hits and you're moving and people are enjoying it, you never could get that rhythm into this set. You just could not seem to get that momentum going. And I've been watching that with a lot of streamers as well, is that it seems like that's the one thing that typically as a streamer, as if you're trying to push the product and you're trying to push sales and you're trying to have fun with this set, you need to have stuff like that excitement factor. Like you get a hit and get them going. You get that hit and you get them going, and it's kind of fun. Surging Sparks, same thing with the 144 sleeve blisters. Someone buys 10 and you get 2 good hits out of there. You get a nice Illustrator rare. You get that nice couple EXs. You get them rainbow bordered EXs, and you start getting a full art trainer and stuff, and pretty soon it starts getting to be fun rhythm where people get excited and it builds that stream and gets things rocking and rolling. And at this point in time, that's really not something that has occurred in this particular set yet. So what's going to happen in this futuristically, I don't know. How this is all going to lay out, it's going to be very difficult on the streaming side to stay up and keep things moving, and that's going to be part of the issue that we're going to continue to see when it comes down to the set. I believe is this: it's going to just feel sometimes like it's a monotonous grind, like Evolving Skies. No offense, Evolving Skies and Chilling Rain can feel the exact same thing. You get to it's streaming. The first alternate art sets are just really, really rough. And my point being is that you're really chasing the alternate arts and the alternate arts only. Everything else is kind of just junk inside the set. There's no extra oomph to the set. There's no fun to the set with those extra hits. Um, Now this does have illustrator rares in it. I mean, it's got some fairly nice one. Like we pulled the Blood Moon Ursaluna. We pulled the Raging, or not the Raging Bolt. There's another illustrator rare. We pulled the Iron Valiant illustrator rare. Very very cool looking card. They have some really nice cards, some really nice nice pattern or nice cards inside in that illustrator rare package. But in general, we did not pull any of the SIRs at all. I mean, out of all of them that are available inside of this set, because you also got that Dragapult EX, you got that Raging Bolt EX, all inside of there as well, along with that Palafin EX. I thought we would see a Palafin or we would see something like that, and no, we did not have any of that. I mean, there's even that Goldingo EX in there as well. I believe there's Terrapogus in there. I don't remember an Iron Hands, if I remember. There's a lot of illustrator rares. I think there's also, what is there? There's like an Iron. I mean, there's a lot of illustrator rares in this set. If you really sit there and look at all the lists, there's a ton of secret illustrator rares, and we didn't pull any. So the difficulty of pulling secret illustrator rares out of this set could be another factor as well. So we did pull the gold Terrapogus EX out of one of the ETBs. So we did get one gold card hit out of there. I do remember hitting that. So, but out of 10 ETBs, it was pretty rough in general for the pull rates. So especially when you're looking at, 10 ETBs, 9 packs of ETB, you're looking at 90 packs there. Granted, that's not a huge sample size, so I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but you're still typically like Surging Sparks. You opened up that many ETBs, you were gonna hit a secret illustrator rare typically. Normally, not saying 100%, but most of the time it seemed like we had really good luck. 144 packs, we always got a SIR out of 144 pack blister or blisters or sleeve blister box. Always got a secret illustrator out of those. All 4 of them we opened, we got one. So yeah, it's just an interesting system. It's going to be really interesting to see how overall this continues to move. Prismatic Evolutions, I think, is going to continue to hold that premium just because of the Evolutions chase. When you sit there and look at the pricing, so I'm going to put in cards. So let me look up what's the cards looking at right now. So I'm pulling up the cards right now, and we got, so the Umbreon EX is down to about $1,600, but way off of that, $18,000 price mark that it was at the beginning. Sylveon, you're sitting at about $577 at the market price. Levion is about $435. You got the Umbreon Master Ball Hollow sitting about $370. You have the Espeon EX is sitting about $330. You got the Vaporeon at $300. You got the Glaceon at $290. You got the Flareon at $230. The Jolteon is at $230, and then the Eevee is at $230 as well. So that's kind of wrapping out the secret illustrator rares for the Evolutions. Followed up right behind there, the Roaring Moon is running at about $190. The what is it? Courage running about $100 or $150. We got the gold Pikachu again inside of this set, running about $130 on this one in a hyper rare spot. Dragapult $120. The Sylveon Master Ball is sitting at $140. So we still got a lot of cards right now sitting over that $100 mark. So you got to go all the way down to the Espeon and Raging Bolt at about $100 currently. So that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. Is you got to get down. You got a lot of cards sitting at the $100 range, but based on the pull rates, and that's not just my stream, I'm watching a lot of other streams too, just to see how well they're performing. The pull rates are really difficult. The number of pulls on this set have been extremely weak comparatively to even Surging Sparks and other sets that we've had. So do I see a large drop in these pricing as time moves forward? I don't know if I would say that there's going to be a large price drop on these particular cards. I just think it's going to take time for this to kind of level out and see what we get for reprints, see what kind of products we got, and how well this is going to continue to perform futuristically as we move forward. So as an investing side of things, I wouldn't panic. It's not something you should be panicking about. You shouldn't be panic buying this. I don't think there's any reason to go out and try and strip shelves and get into that kind of atmosphere at this point in time. I think that we need to let Pokemon do its thing and let this thing kind of move forward and keep going as it always does and trying to make things work. So once again, that's kind of my rant for today. So don't clear off shelves, guys. I think we're going to be seeing more of this product based on what distributors are feeling and how things are looking right now. I think that we're going to see more products still show up on the shelves. I think overall, if you did get some of this on pre-release or you did get it on, you do some pre-orders and stuff. Probably not. You can probably wait it out a couple more weeks here and just see what the markets do in general to see if we see a retract in this particular market or any further than what we are right now. My feelings are is that it's probably not going to drop much under $100 in the near future unless we start seeing a little bit of if we see a little bit more stock coming up. Until we see some stock coming up, or see a large quantity of stock start showing up in the available market, I don't think we're going to see this ETB drop below $100 because you can even look at the charts right now. So I'm looking at both PokeData.io right now, and I'm looking at TCG Players graphs right now. So if I look at TCG Player, it was at that 150 range, and now it dropped down to 120. And for the rest of the week now, it's been sitting at about 120. So that's been pretty consistent on where we're seeing that right now. And then if we go ahead and take a look on PokeData.io, and we go to, sealed products, pull it open on here because I looked earlier today. Here it is. So I got this one right now. And they're saying about the same thing. So I'm looking at eBay right now. Average price on eBay is about 120. Average price on TCG Player is about 120 with shipping. So both of them with shipping is about $120. So currently in this type of market, there are some going, though. One thing I'm seeing is on auction, they are going a little bit lower. So if you are looking at this as an opportunity, there are some auctions going right now. So I'm looking down on PokeData.io. I can sit here and see the auctions going on currently. So looks like they're going for about $80 in auction. There's a couple at 100, 89, so you can get them to $190 on auction right now. Some have gone 70, 75. So we're seeing some price. So maybe auctions is a good way to jump in and get in some of this as well. So, and I'm just looking, make sure that they are actually that sale. Yes, so they are. So they were actually these sales. Once again, if you're trying to if you're just trying to get in on it and get an opportunity to jump in and looking for that window, possibly auctions might be your best bet and best opportunity to get into it. So, but once again, let me see. So we're looking through. So basically, that's what we got for tonight, guys. Just kind of doing my normal 20-minute rant here at the beginning so I can get to the questions because I see James from Alamo City. Thank you for joining. Has a whole bunch of stuff that he's been posting. So thank you so much for putting stuff into the chat. Thank you so much for doing that. iFOMO, welcome in. Thank you for joining as well. As always, we got Thomas Wayne in the chat as well. We got Blitzkrieg, as always. Thank you so much for joining our live. Greatly appreciated. And we got Spencer hanging out there right now in the chats as well. If anybody else is out there, make sure you guys throw your name out there, say hey in the chat or hello in the chat, and then make sure you hit that like button as well. See, there's 14 people right now. Let's see if we can get this up to 14 likes. Let's see if we can push that a little bit, guys. Be greatly appreciated. One thing I am going to start putting out there a little bit more, and I need to remind people before the end of the live is that our ultimate goal right now this year is just one of the funny goals I'm doing this year to try and see if we can get it done is to see if I can get 30 new members to the channel. And the reason I want to do that is my only goal is to try and get one free cup of coffee for every day that I work. So the way to do that right now is that basically if you join the membership, you get the cool stickers, you get the recognition. I also try to make sure you guys are recognized inside the chats when I see you guys and make sure I answer your questions as soon as possible and get ahead of you guys on those. And then last but not least, you're also fueling me for my day at work with a cup of coffee every single day. So that's kind of my goal right now. Be great to see if we can pull that off. And once again, thank you everybody for joining in so far tonight. So basically, hold off on Prismatic Evolutions. Let this market kind of settle down a little bit. We might see sub 100 ETBs here. They may go up, but every source I've got says that we're looking at potentially a new reprint coming here, probably right around that end of March. In March, there's that last release of products where I think we're getting like the booster bundles and all that. And I believe that that's coming out like the end of March. There's been a lot of people saying that there's going to be some product available at that point in time as well. The other thing is too is that if you haven't noticed, look at the pre-order pricing on the seal product right now. If you go to pre-order pricing right now on TCG Player, and look at the little 6-pack bundles of this. The little 6-pack bundles are going for the same price as the ETBs right now. They're $110 right now on pre-order. And I'm going to look real quick. Please tell me not too many people bought these things. I'm just curious to know. So if I look, yeah, there's orders. There's orders today for $110, $120 for these little 6-pack bundles. People are paying $120 for these little 6-pack bundles. of Prismatic Evolutions. So it's absolutely insane what people are paying right now for this. The mini tins right now, those mini tins are going for about $35 to $50 a piece, depending on which artwork is on the mini tins. There's that little pouch is going for $75. The binder collections are going for $65 after release. Those little techno stickers are sitting about $35. It makes no sense why you'd pay that much for those techno stickers, but those are a little bit short printed comparatively to other products as well. The little 2-pack bundles are 35 as well. So if you're going to pay $35 for the Eevee 2-pack, you might as well buy the techno stickers for 35 because at least you're getting 3 packs of Prismatic Evolutions versus 2. It's just my opinion. So I don't know why you would pay 35 for stickers when you can get or for the Eevee 2-pack when you can get 3 packs for the same price. So that's just my opinion. If I was going to be spending the money and was considering the two, I would do that. So yeah, I mean the Umbreon tin right now is going for almost $60, $55.82 right now for the Umbreon mini tins on pre-order. So pre-orders are even just insane right now. Oh, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting market, and personally, I think that we need to just have a little bit of a relaxation on this and just take our time, make sure that we're don't flood the shelves, don't rip everything off the shelves at this point in time. Just take your time and enjoy the hobby. If you can find them on MSRP, I think if you can find them, fine, you can do that. But like I said, I went to Walmart on release, and there was like 5 people, and they literally started fighting for the thing. Like one guy got shoved into the wall, one person got. It's just not worth it. Just let if I don't get this set, it sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, at this point, if that's gonna be what I'm having to deal with for it, it's just not worth it at this point in time. Maybe in my older age here, I'm just getting to the point where it's like, you guys are stupid. Just do what you want. I'm not getting involved in this. There's no point in a fist fight for a freaking Pokemon ETBs. If I'm gonna get into a fist fight on it, I might as well just go buy it online and not deal with it. Pay the full price if I wanted it. So, let's go down the chat here. We got James from Alamo City saying, "Good evening, Andy. Good evening, James. How are you doing this evening?" iFomo putting on his 100 popcorn and fire. That's right, we're going fire in this chat here this evening. Were you lucky enough to cop any Pokemon Center prior to release? I was able to grab 3 cases of 4 PC ETB Prismatic Evolutions ETBs back in December when they first dropped, prior to putting them in. Yeah, and I got 1 4-pack. So I got 1 with the 4-pack, and they did come as a 4-pack, and they did come as a case. So I got a sealed case of them, which is what I said at the beginning. It's creating a little bit of a conundrum for myself because I do like to display them. You know, like back over here, I like putting them up for display on my background, but I'm in a conundrum where I don't really want to break the case either because I still feel that the case may have a case premium, because I don't think a lot of people got the 4 ETB option. I think a lot of people just got the 2. So that's definitely going to be a factor overall when it comes down to it. It's cool to have. I want one out of the case, but I don't want to break the case either. So I've created my own little conundrum. But I also refuse to go online and spend what? $250 for one for a display. So I'm not going to do that either. So yeah, I might break the case. I have not decided. It's just cool it came in a case. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't made that decision yet. James says now the limit is 2 on PC and likely not going back to 4 anytime soon. I ordered 1 case and keeping the other 2 sealed as it will come at a premium. Yeah. If I had more than 1 case, I would have done that, but I I ordered mine when it came on. I got it. I went to my wife's account a little bit later because I got busy at work or going to work, so I got busy on things. I went to my wife's account and then they were down to 2. And by the time I placed the order, they were already sold out. So I was right on the edge of getting sold out. I did not get the even 2 extra that I was looking for, which is fine. I'm okay with just getting the 4. It's just gonna make my just creates a conundrum on how I want to handle that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we're gonna start seeing the limit on Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes dropping down to 2, at least for the foreseeable future, until we get past this little bottleneck of whatever Pokemon is creating at this point in time. So this bottleneck is definitely gonna be creating some different constraints when it comes down to it. Like even my local GameStop actually restricted who could buy from them as well on this set. So he basically said that if you're not a regular customer at the store, if so, we have accounts there. So basically, he limited it to people who had accounts at the store who have purchased there prior. So if you just like showed up and never purchased from him before, he was not selling you Prismatic Evolutions, any of the stuff he had. So you had to be through his store. You had to be a regular customer. And the restrictions were is that you had to purchase before. You had to have purchased or been there within the last 30 days and purchased. And so he made it pretty tight to make sure that the people who are continually doing this or they're supporting his business continuously are able to get the stuff that they wanted from him, which are fantastic. It's a great way to do it. I thought that was pretty fair, especially since like him, it's a rewards account, and it's a rewards option, and it's definitely something that he built into the store, and I think it's a great way to do that. So thank you so much. I always say it. It is for joining us as well. Glad to have you into the membership. So welcome, and so enjoy your free emojis as you're coming in, and thank you as well for the cup of coffee. Greatly appreciated. So, and thank you for joining in the chat as always. Glad to have you in here. Let's see here. James from the Alamo City. The Japanese Journey Together is coming up, and now with the awesome leaks from Japanese, will likely stay high for right now. Seeing the trainer leaks. I've seen some of the trainer leaks. Yes, I think that there's some really, really cool cards. I think in general there's some really, really good things in that set that are going to be enjoyable. And yeah, I think that you're right. I think the hype is going to stay up on it. Right now, I have a good allotment, hopefully, of booster boxes higher than what I normally do. Some of the individuals that I did purchase for, that had money with me, I went through and asked, put it out there. Garen came back and he wanted to roll it forward. Most people wanted a refund because they were going to chase this in the wild, and I absolutely was fine with that. So, that was kind of the goal. Some people I made mad, of course, because, I put up the message here, I put the message on Discord, I put out, messages on it, and some people didn't respond back for what they wanted to do. So on Thursday or Wednesday before the release, I released the funds because I don't want to be responsible for someone wanting funds and not being able to get it. So basically, if I didn't have the product and I did not want to hold it past the release date, so that if you were trying to get it, had opportunities, I didn't want to hold your capital up to do it unless you told me you wanted your capital held up. So basically, I just kind of rolled that out for everybody out there. So it was released. You should have got your money. Everybody got their money on Thursday before the release of the product. That way on Friday you could chase. So I'm not doing pre-orders any longer. That's something that I'm not going to do from now on. If individuals want something, what I've been doing is just taking your name and I'm adding that into my distributor order. And when we get an order, basically when I get an order for stuff, I know I can sell it, so I'm not really too concerned about it in this market. So basically all I'm going to do is just take your order for stuff. So like now we're done with Journey Together. We had to have all of our allocations in here on the 20th. So, or 20, we had to have it to them by the 20th. So on yesterday, we had to have all of our allocations put in. But basically, if you're looking for something on a set coming up, I'm putting in just requests onto it for that. This whole cycle was actually good for me because it did break me having to also pay ahead, which is a good opportunity as well, where I can actually put more out there and try and see if I can get more allocation without having to put the cash up front. So this has been an experience with Southern Hobby and with ACD that they just decided that from now on, because of the fact that they both had to refund me money because they didn't have the product that I was looking for, that basically what they're doing is that they're just going to let me do pre-orders like everybody else, where I'm just sending in my allocation, and then that way I can just pay it when I get my allocations put cemented. So when I get that number cemented, then I can pay that allocation. So that's going to nice little change as well. Plus it puts a little bit more pressure that once they give me that allocation number and I pay it, then they're a little bit more grounded to being sure that they get me the product rather than just blowing me over as well. So I think it's going to be a good change for myself. It also makes it so that if I do try and get stuff for people in the YouTube world, that I'm not holding up your funds either. And if you back out on it, I can just back out on the orders. Right now, the distributors have no problem with me not taking my full allocation. So that's a good thing as well. It makes it a little bit easier for that part as well. Let's see, where were we at? James again. I think with the reprint of any Prismatic Evolutions, the bots will go to lunch on it, and with demand, any reprint won't seem like a reprint. I do agree with that. I think the bots are going to be continuing an issue right now. The scalping bots have been reactivated on Pokemon. So I think it's on any Pokemon product at this point in time, because even like Pokemon drops and stuff, it seems like by the time they were really good at getting information when it was coming. You had time to go in there. Like with if you got that notification and you got out there within an hour, you usually had no problem picking up the product that was on like Pokemon drops and that on X. And that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It disappears so fast. It's literally I've gotten notification, click the button, and like 2 minutes after a notification comes through, and I get there and it's sold out. So everything is just selling so fast because the bots are wound up again. Um, we do need a big reprint from Pokemon Center International to really wash this and reset this market again. Kind of like what we saw in 2021 there. You know, the fall of 2021, we got that massive washing of the market, made booster boxes go all the way back down to $80 a booster box. We created, all that was created and had that, retraction in the market, which really did flush out all those people with bots because they didn't want the bots buying stuff that they couldn't flip within, a day or a couple days. They wanted to have product, and without that availability, that's the only way we're going to wash this market again. It's up to Pokemon International for when they're going to wash this. We can't do it. There's nothing that we can really do as a seller, as a streamer, as a shop, as an investor. There's really nothing that we can do to try and enforce this. It's really in Pokemon's high hands for when they can flush this market with stock. And then, of course, they released their generic statement. They just took celebrations off of it and put Prismatic Evolutions on it and re-put the same statement that we understand that you're having issues with. When we're having issues with stock, please stay tuned and we will get you got. Who knows what that means? But it does sound like we do have some reprints on the burner right now. So Temporal Forces is for sure getting a reprint. We do have for sure information that we're getting a reprint on Temporal Forces. Sounds like we're getting a reprint of Twilight Masquerade. Sounds like there's one coming of Surging Sparks. And it sounds like we might be getting one as well of Obsidian Flame as well. So those are the three. Obsidian Flames, I can't get any confirmation. That's just one I've heard from some places, but no confirmation from distributor. Temporal Forces is confirmed through distributing. So we do know we're getting a Temporal Forces reprint. Twilight Masquerade has also they're getting numbers or getting things set up for that too. So it sounds like Twilight Masquerade is going to be a go as well. And they're being told Surging Sparks to distributors. So right now we do know those three sets are distributors are getting information that a reprint's coming of those ones. So they know Temporal Forces is for sure. They're getting the dates already set on that one. The other ones are still up in the air on that. So yes, basically we know those three sets for sure. I haven't heard anything about Stellar Crown, and I have not heard anything of Paradox Rift. Nothing about Paldea Evolved, but we have heard about Prismatic Evolutions. Of course, that's been the one's been talking coming up at the end of March. And then on top of it, we have not heard anything of base set either. So those ones we have not. Obsidian Flames is the only one I've heard, but it was not from a distributor. Let's see. We're gonna get through here. Thomas Wayne says, "What's up, James?" I'm on a bunch of Discords, and the alerts aren't doing any good due to the bots. Yeah, that's what I mean. Alerts, you just can't get there fast enough, no matter what you do. You can't get ahead of the bots, and that's what even Poke Drops is the same way. Typically, you had time, and there's not enough time to get ahead of the bots. Bots have it burnt up before it's even on there. It's getting to be on any of it. Anything that comes up that's on a deal is gone before you can even react to it. So it's really impossible to get ahead of the bots currently. James also says, did you see the Target has been dropping the 151 booster bundles at retail over the past few days, and once again gobbled up by bots? Yeah, I've been kind of wondering about that. Once again, I think Excel must be having some product that they're pulling out from the background of things, because overall, I think that it's just one of those things. They keep kind of dropping them on their website. They disappear extremely quick. There's been some videos of people finding them at their targets, but once again, I would say they weren't from very reputable sources. So just like we kind of found out. So if anybody on here follows TikTok or doesn't follow TikTok with everything that's been going on that side of things, we found out a lot of people like spilled their guts on the last day thinking that the video was going to be gone forever. So they were spilling their guts about being truthful about how they do stuff. And a lot of individuals, even in the Pokemon or spectrum, start putting up videos of the truth is I amplify my videos by buying this stuff and taking it to the store and then acting like I'm buying it type deals. So once again, it gets rid of that validity to a lot of these places to know, you know, who do you trust? Is it are the videos true, or did you take your own stock of this particular product and walk it back in the Target and walk it out of the store? I mean, and once again, there's no. It's just a really funky deal. Um, and there was a lot of that truth coming out on TikTok for sure when it came down to it. That a lot of people all of a sudden were pulling out the truth that I was doing, and then all of a sudden TikTok was gone for 12 hours and then popped back up. So yeah, it's a really really funny. But on the other hand, it kind of shows that even the people that you thought were being truthful on things really were making crap up, and you don't know what the truth was behind it. So, are there some showing up in stores? There's been videos shown of it. Do I 100% believe it? Not necessarily at this point in time. I think that it's probably some, and it's probably a weird case, but it's hard to believe that there would be any major amount of it at this point. James in Alamo City, there is no business for the tech sticker booster packs going for $30 plus. Like you, Andy, I do long term, and everyone just needs to not FOMO, and eventually, in time, price will go back down. Hopefully. Well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing is when you're looking at this from an investment spectrum, if we get 2 years out and the price is still sitting at 220, 240, I'd probably be more willing to buy in at that point once we get past the point of where we're not going to be worrying about reprints. But right now, I think the smart move on the investment side is to just play the wave system, play the waves that are going to come with this set. As a wave comes out, try and get ahead of it, get some product, get some orders in, and try and get some pre-orders if they're available. But try and continually buy product that way, rather than sitting there trying to get in the first wave. The hype and FOMO is so heavy on this set, and I think there's going to be a lot of disappointment. My hopes is that we get like the announcement for Team Rocket right as they do a reprint for this, because if that occurs, there's going to create like that little bit of a window where people are going to have to make the decision: do I want to pre-order in the Team Rocket and ride that wave, or am I going to want to take these funds and allocate it back to Prismatic Evolutions? Typically, people follow the hype and FOMO, the streamers, the baseball enthusiasts, the sports streamers. All these people will shift to the newest set, and they typically give you a window to get in on it on the backside, where then they come back after they make money on the next set. Then they'll try and run back real quick and get it on the backside. So yeah, you can see that back and forth where it creates that little bit of a window. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is that we see another great set that will distract so that you can jump in on those. James from Alamo, looks like Evolving Skies has had no movement in a few days. 2K booster boxes by Q3 or Q4 this year. It could. Because right now, where are they at? Let me look real quick. Evolving Skies, where's our booster boxes at? Because they were, about $1,300. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna see it by this year. To be 100% honest. Um, we might see another spike here as tax season happens. We might see it go up a little bit. So I could see $1,500 by this year. But there again, I mean, we got one for $1,500 there, but then it's 20. They're kind of bouncing between all over the place. Some of them are loose, sealed box, so two unopened box. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. But the sales are becoming very, very, very small windows. So there has not been a sealed box sold on TCG Player since the 16th. So the 16th, there was one sold for $1,250. So basic, or well, I guess there was one here for on the 16th for $1,490. So 15 and $1,250 are two. That's why they got the $1,350. They kind of averaged it out for where we're at. So basically that's what we're sitting at right now on that, is that it's kind of stagnated right around that 1350 mark, and there hasn't been very many sales. So when you start seeing a drop in sales on that, that's definitely a good sign that we're not going to be seeing big jumps on that. Because basically we've gotten to the point where we've almost like priced out, where people just don't feel that there's the value in it currently. Now that can change. It could be a money thing. People are just plain and simply out of money, and they just don't want to push that any further. It could be that they're just waiting for something to change in the market again, or they're all just moving over to Prismatic Evolutions, and everybody's just kind of avoiding Evolving Skies because the price is so high. They can get in the next Evolving Skies and get ahead of it at a lower price. They're looking at it as a discount Evolving Skies to try and get in on it. Hope it does as well. So I'm just looking through booster boxes. eBay actually auctions, once again, auctions are doing fairly good on it when it comes down to selling these too, because there's a lot of auctions going under $1,000 right now. I mean, there's 19 bids on this one. It's been a few days though. I mean, this auction was this one was from the 8th, so there has been no sales on eBay since the 8th. So we're sitting out for quite a few days without any real sales on the primary sales places. So that's a real factor for whether or not Evolving Skies is going to move forward. I think we got to get through tax season. When tax season comes, people get that tax return. It's kind of like a little bit of a stimmy bonus in there, and that's going to be a chance for that to actually move up again as well. So I don't know if we'll see 2K by the end of the year, though. I just don't. Like I said, even with this, you know, I figure we would hit. I figure we'd hit $1,000 at the end of this year. That's probably the best chance you got is Q4 of doing it. But I don't know where it's getting to the point where it's getting pretty pricey. And with Team Rocket Set coming, with Prismatic Evolutions here, with this Journey Together here, there's a lot of stuff that people are rather spending money on rather than on this particular set. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. It could. I definitely could see it happening, but if it's going to happen, it's going to be Q4. It's going to be Christmas. Black Friday, Christmas time next year is going to be its shot. Blitzkrieg, yo, how you doing? We got Spencer. Hey, how's it going, Spencer? Blitzkrieg, I gave in and ripped 2 of my 4 ETBs. LOL. It happens to the best of us. I've got a couple. I picked up a couple binders at retail, so I got 3 of those when they first came out. They were left on the shelf. Everybody took the ETBs, fought for those, and left the binders. So I got 3 binders from the distributor, or not from the distributor, from Walmart. So I paid retail on them, which I wanted 3 for my kids, so they're all up on the shelf, and it's been really tempting not to open those. So I've been trying to tell the kids to leave them sealed too. I actually think they look really good for displayability on those, so it's kind of cool to see them. I didn't get any from distributor. I didn't get any text stickers from distributor. Yeah, I only got 4 ATBs from distributors. So, well, 6, because I got 2 from ACD. So I got 6. Crazy, just nothing. So I'm hoping for the next round we might be able to find stuff as well. So, iPhone, did you see the Mega Evolutions MSRP? No, I did not. I was actually gonna look that up and I never got to it. So, because we're getting some new ones. Are there new ones and a new set coming? So I'm looking here because there was this one right here, XY era. Yeah, I've been kind of out of that on that end of things. I've been so busy on between trying to keep people from freezing to death that I heard that there's something about megas again, but I haven't seen any real information on them or MSRP. So let me see here. What do we got for megas? Because here's so Mega Brave and Mega Symphony sets are trademarked. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at it right now. I'm on Pokedata or Poke Beach right now, and currently I'm not seeing anything like telling us the list of them. I see megas are confirmed. They're just I'm looking through what we got here for the actual sets because we got. So here's where they were confirmed. Just looking to see what kind of megas we've got here because it should be on Poke Beach here someplace, I would think. Dude, that's Battle Partners. It's coming out. Nope. Everything is journeying together, and of course we do have the new McDonald's ones. Of course, some people are already scalping them right out of the back of the McDonald's because there's cases for them for sale already. Absolutely blows my mind that people would go and steal crap right out of the back of Walmart or buy them right out of the back of Walmart and take them from kids. So here's this one. I'm not seeing a list of these iFOMO, do you have a link possibly for where we could find those boxes you would be willing to put up? Because looking at Poke Beach, I mean, they talk that there is the Mega Brave and the Mega Symphony are both up. Sets trademark for the Pokemon TCG, hinting at Mega Evolutions. Mega Zero Aura, okay. Yeah, see, I'm not even seeing anything on Poke Beach for that Megas so far. I mean, we know there's probably a Mega set coming. When you got the names are already trademarked for the Japanese sets, Mega Brave, kind of telling you we're going back to Megas, which is what we heard. We've been hearing that Megas are coming back, so not surprising in any way, shape, or form. So it'd be really, really cool to see what we get for the Mega side of things in the actual Pokemon TCG. So, okay, so that's all the information. So yeah, we've got trademark names right now. So there's 2 trademark sets coming for into Japan. So those are done. We know there's Mega something. So it'll be really interesting to see what comes out of that. Let's see. We got Blitzkrieg. Yeah, they're still restocking inventory and limit to a person at the store for Pokemon. Yeah, our stores have not gone back to a limit at this point. At this point in time, they have not. Um, I know that the manager of Walmart, I was talking to them, they made it clear that if this continues, they're just going to put all the inventory in the back and tell MJ Holding they're not selling. They're just not willing to go back to the old system. They said we don't. So the way it is now with the self checkouts and the way they redesigned a bunch of the WalMarts in our areas, there is really nowhere to put them because they no longer sell cigarettes at any of our WalMarts. So they got rid of the cigarette section. And since they got rid of the cigarette section, they no longer have like a closed off area where they can sell from behind the counter because they did that. And the manager of Walmart was pretty much saying that if this is going to be a weekly thing, that they're just going to put everything in the back and pretty much they'll just create a stock and tell MJ Holding they can dump it there, but they're not selling. They're not putting it out on the floor. So I hope we don't get to that point, but I know a lot of stores are not going to put up with the crap and the BS that they had to deal with in 2020 and 2021. They made that clear. It's just not worth their staff getting injured. It's not worth a fight inside the place. It's not worth the issues that could arise from that. So I think that that's going to be another situation that we could be continuing to see as well. Is that some stores, if this continues, will just pull all the inventory, and they said they'll pull it all. Sports cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, they're just going to pull the whole shelf down. They said that it can all go in the back, and they'll wait until everything cools down again, and they'll just let them pile up in the back. They don't want to have all this stock and people fighting in fist fights like they saw back in 20. And she made it clear. The same manager that was there in 2021 made it clear that she's just not going to deal with it. It's not going to happen. She's not going to put up with it. She's going to have zero tolerance for this. The first, even the pushing and the shoving for the ETBs, she was not very impressed. So, and that may decide how much MJ Holding also puts in the store if there's going to be a fight. So, and I absolutely agree with her. I think if you're going to be childish about it and you're going to actually shove and push like 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds to get something, then it should be put in the back and forgotten about until you guys can grow up. And that's exactly what I think a couple of these stores need to do as well. And, really stifle this situation before it gets out of hand again. James from Alamo City, sub if you haven't already. Yes, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. Hit that like button on the stream as well. Greatly appreciated for everybody. No megas. Just looking through here. They are some that are still cheap. There's some really good. I've been picking up mega cards pretty consistently right now. I think that there's some really good opportunity, especially if megas come back. I could see the value of other megas starting to go up in value as well. So yeah, I've been stocking up on megas for quite some time because when we went back to the EX, I kind of thought that this could either we would see megas again, and I know we've talked about it for quite a while that was a possibility. The other factor is too, though, is when people type in Articuno EX, if they type in Pikachu EX, if they type in Charizard EX, there's all those EXs that pop up on TCG Player from all the older ones. that could be a factor even on eBay that you're gonna start seeing multiples of them. Because right now, if I type in Charizard EX, and typically your thing is set either high to low or most recommended, you're getting the old cards first. I mean, right now I'm seeing like the first one on here is the Mega Charizard EX X from Flashfire. First one on the list, $418. So the first cards you're seeing are a mix of all these different cards, which is something I could see people starting to kind of shift towards and grab them because like this second card on the list is that Japanese promo, Pokemon promo for the Charizard and Venusaur. So you get the alternate now with the Charizard V and Sword and Shield being the opposite look of that card. So yeah, I mean that's just it. I mean, I thought that was something that could happen, and that could happen with all the cards when we're looking at it as well. So all the X cards, especially now if Megas are coming back, it could really be another influx on that as well. Let's see, going down, mini tin prismatics. I want a few cases. They look beautiful. They do very, very nice cards. I'm hoping I can at least get one case. The distributor said I should be able to get one case, so I'm hoping I can get one case. Pokeball Umbreon, best thing from 2 ETBs and a Master Ball Slowpoke. Ouch. Well, still getting the Umbreon Pokeball because I was just on it. What was it? So well, you got to get the Umbreon Master Ball. The Umbreon Master Ball is the most expensive one. That one's almost $370 for that one. What is the Umbreon Pokeball? What's that one value? I don't know what the value is on that one currently. I'm trying to find it right now to see. Because let's see, that's a Houndoom. So I'm finding a lot of the Master Ball hollows right now. Product line, I don't want that. I want this. Yeah, I don't know if I can filter this out. It's going to be, without knowing the card number, it's going to be pretty hard to filter that one out. So it's hoping to be, oh, here it is. So still, I mean, you got two of those at $22 a piece. So that's not too bad a value. I mean, it sucks in value when you think about the price of ETB, but at MSRP, getting two of those, you almost paid for one ETB if you were getting them at MSRP. So that's not too bad. Not with the current price of an ETB, no. Though it's not making it up. Yeah, I ain't buying into that nonsense. Umbreon to the moon. Someone bought out the penny from Paldean Fates finally. Yeah, it's finally going up. I saw that one. We're seeing some really dumb things starting to get chewed up and swallowed, and then the price is going up on those as well. So I miss all that. Now I'm back down to this one. Huh. Apparently I jumped the gun, but that's okay. Blitzkrieg, I'm ripping everything. I'm gonna look into the eyes of the children. Rip that right on your YouTube channel. See, child, this is what I got. No, please don't do it. I don't like Prismatic. You know, I like Evolving Skies better right now. I don't know. We'll see. I don't like the pull rates. I don't like the costs. I think that's my biggest thing is that I have not even opened a pack of this set for myself at this point in time. And that's pretty unusual because usually even at the costest things, I still usually open one. I just haven't been able to get it. So it's really not interesting to me at this point in time. Causing more trouble than the cards being. Yep. That's exactly a big issue that we're having. True TCG Pocket Game is to blame. I think it's a really good factor. Looking more into it, if we look at the time frame, I think we're in a little bit more of we're in another boom. And it's not an internal boom. It's not an organic boom. It's not like we got a lot of people all of a sudden interested in this. It's another situation where another factor is causing this hobby to have a boom. It's kind of like the Pokemon Go boom at this point in time. We're bringing in more people that are excited, and it's causing a shortage because Pokemon was building to this quantity of people and it was doing fairly well. We had plenty of stock, and then when that Pocket TCG came out, it really changed the number of people inside the hobby. It's really caused an influx of individuals that Pokemon has not countered at this point in time. So until they counter it, it's going to be an issue. FOMO, I'm not even grading anymore. I'm just buying IRs in multiples and holding them. And illustrators have been doing really well as well. I mean, they've been done well There's a big drop originally the first 6 months, just like usual. First 6 months is a drop, and after that we start seeing a gain on them again. So overall, definitely not a bad option there. Yeah, it definitely ignited it. It did. It got it going again. That game kicked it off again because there's a lot of people opening it. Got a lot more excitement. A lot more people were seeing it in different circles, and it started to push people out into the height or into the game again. It's hard to open Prismatic when the market price on sealed is guaranteed profit. You could be why some people would rather sit on sealed than open for singles, causing higher end SIRs singles to remain low in stock. The pull rates are atrocious too. Um, Hitus, the pull rates are absolutely atrocious in general. It's been very, very difficult to cases to even pull secret rares. So even getting an SIR, and not just an evolution, but to get an SIR in general in 90 packs, we didn't pull a single one. Not even one of the lower ones like the Roaring Moon or any of them. We pulled one gold card out of the set. So, I mean, that was one advantage. We got the one, but there's a lot of gold cards in the set too. And we only pulled one gold card. So there again, we pulled a Terrapogus gold card out of 9 ETBs. And I think that was all just strict, let's be honest, strict luck. We caught the Terrapogus, which is probably one of the better ones as well. Looking here where that is. So the Pikachu is the top gold. There was a Terrapogus EX. I think it was Terrapogus. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here it is. Let's just back quite a ways. But yeah, it's still a $30 single there. But yeah, that was one of them that we pulled. That was the only gold card. That's the only secret rare that we pulled. Everything else was just EX. Ultra rare class. There was not anything in that secret rare class except for that hyper rare, what is now hyper rare, but secret rare gold card. So realistically, really, really tough, really tough pull rates. And that's also adding into the fact that there's remaining on the low stock on that. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Number one, people are not opening. So you got two sides. Number one, people aren't opening product because I can go and buy a pack of pack at MSRP and double up almost on it right away. So why wouldn't you do that? It's really hard to open packs when you can just double up and do nothing but resell. And then the other factor is too is that the pull rates are so atrocious that the product that is being opened, the product that's being opened is not delivering any kind of SIRs for people to sell on the open market. So it's kind of a two-edged sword right now, and it's not very easy to not really easy to fill in those holes and build up a stock of singles when you're not able to hit them. They're just not in the packs. So that's going to be a real issue as well. Blitzkrieg, and once again, Titus for jumping in on the Lumberjack clan. Thank you so much for doing that as well. Like I said, it's kind of the goal is to try and get 30 people into the Lumberjack clan this month or this year. Just one of my silly goals to try and see if I can get a cup of coffee every day. So basically, if you look at every month, once a day for the month, you'll be buying me a cup of coffee, which would be greatly appreciated. So that's all that I'm trying to do with that. So let's see. iFOMO, Lumberjack clan. We've got Blitzkrieg. Yeah, bots are buying thousands of ETBs from Amazon. Yeah, anything that comes in under market value right now, anything that's listed under $100 is gone instantly. The ETBs just disappear off of it. Number one, I think some of those bots are pulling in that to keep that market price up. I think the bots are doing two things. Number one, they're keeping the market price up by continuing to buy anything under $100 so they don't let the market come down. And number two, it makes it so that that gives an opportunity for them to get more stock to keep it at that 120. That's why I don't think we're going to see much of a drop past that 120 mark. Is because a lot of these scalpers now have a ton of money from pre-selling these things from the initial push of these particular products, and now they're just keeping it at this range. And until there's a restock, that range is not going to drop. I think 120, 110, 120 is where we're going to sit. I don't think we're going to sit below that. Because I know anything that seems to get listed under $100 gets just swallowed immediately. James says Surging Sparks as well, reprint. Yes, I've heard of Surging Sparks reprint. Have not heard a date on that yet. So we do have Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade. Temporal Force is the only one that's getting a date established to it at this point in time. We are being told March, April, May. We're going to be getting some reprints in that time So we got Blitzkrieg, Obsidian is done. Didn't Alex and Brian confirm it? It never came through any of my distributors, so I don't know what distributors they got, but I there is no confirmation of Obsidian Flames from any of mine. Uh, Paldea and Paldea Evolved got a, I don't know if I'd call it a reprint. It was more of a small restock from Pokemon because there wasn't very much, and all of the distributors held it for ransom. So right now, there was nothing on Southern Hobby, and I had my rep call me if they did get anything available for Obsidian Flame, because Obsidian Flame prices are going up as well. I don't know if anybody has been watching Obsidian Flames, because I mean, if we go to Obsidian Flame right now and look up a booster box, so if I pull up a booster box right now with the reprint, where's the booster box? Oh, right here. We're at 100 and we're at 175 bucks. So we're at $175 and the price went down from 175 and 165 and came back to 175. So we didn't get a big reprint. If there was a reprint, it wasn't anything that was to write home to your mom about. There just wasn't enough product available in that. The other one that's doing really well right now too are these. So another one, these 6-pack bundles once again are selling extremely well also. Right at that $29-$30 mark currently at this in the market. So again, you've got an opportunity to get in on those. Now actually we're up to 31 is the next one that's for sale. So we're seeing some increase in pricing. We're going up to 31.50 on a lot of these are the next ones listed with free shipping. So yeah, you're looking at 31.50 shipped to your house, and the price of those has steadily gone up as well in the last few months here. So we're seeing it just kind of, everything's kind of shifting, everything's kind of moving. So without product, without reprints, that's going to continue. So actual big reprints that I would say are there and going to establish things, and we're going to potentially see value or be able to get in quantity. Temporal Forces is the first one I know of. Twilight Masquerade and Surging Sparks are two that we know we're getting a substantial amount because the distributors are telling us that they're getting them. Obsidian Flame, Paldea Evolved was never announced to anybody. Realistically, it showed up and you had to buy something else to get those particular cases. So, and Obsidian Flames actually just sold off on Southern Hobby about 2 months ago. So it hasn't been even off of Southern Hobby that long. Let's see. Ancient Crypto, how's it going? Um, Agent Crypto, Astral Radiance Pokemon Center ETB is just sold out today. Is it a brick product? I think it's gonna be a slow performer. Astral Radiance in general is just a slow performer. The only advantage that Astral Radiance has over like Lost Origin and Silver Tempest is it got a boost. It did not get a booster box reprint when they did. So once again, to me, Astral Radiance is not a good set from, in my opinion. I know that there's some Diamond and Pearl fans that would call me wrong, that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure I would get all of the comments on that factor, but my general perception of the set in general is it's just a very weak set when it comes down to those 4 sets. Um, the Diamond and Pearl era was probably one of the slower eras in the Pokemon TCG, right behind, because base set was hot, Neo was down, EX was probably getting down there really slow. That's when I left. I know afterwards we had, Diamond and Pearl, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White. All those were pretty, moderately low at that point. Not a lot of interest, which is where I think that, Brilliant Stars does well because Arceus is still the god Pokemon, so everybody enjoys it. Tina is a is a devil Pokemon. Once again, you got a very heavy devil Pokemon on that side of things when you look at it from the lore of the Pokemon TCG. So once again, a really fun aspect to that part of it, along with that really strong trainer gallery in Lost Origins with the Pikachu gallery inside of there, really gives it that boost up as well. You have Brilliant Stars that has the Charizard and the Arceus, so the Charizard is really the driver on that. The Arceus is a bonus, along with that Umbreon's inside and are the evolutions, including the Umbreon trainer gallery inside of that set. So that's a good driver on Brilliant Stars. But Astral Radiance is just kind of lackluster except for the Starmie card. I mean, realistically, The Starmie card is the biggest chase in that set. Currently, you got that Garchomp is doing well. There's some really good Strainer Gallery cards. But if I go in here right now and I just go to TCG Player and I'm just going to look at it real quick, if I pull the cards and I go high to low, the Machamp, of course, is still sitting there, but the Machamp hasn't really moved in price. It's come down in price, actually, over the last 6 months. It's dropped in value. So you've kind of went up a little bit went up to about 125 and it's just kind of dropped back down again. It's down to about 109 now. And if you look, you got that Starmie card is your second strongest card right now, about $80. You got that Origin Farm Dialga sitting at about 50. The Palkia sitting at about 40, and then you got the Garchomp sitting in there at about 50. So I mean, realistically, you got one card over $100, and it's barely, and then all the rest of them are sitting in the middle. Otherwise, there's really no like cards in this set. Beedrill, I mean, it's nice artwork. I think it's cool, but it's a really hard set to really push into. Same thing with the Sneasler V. I mean, another alternate art that's kind of just lackluster. I mean, it's a cool artwork, don't get me wrong, and the Lilligant, the same thing. Cool artwork, it's just not strong enough. I think it's something futuristically could do well, but right now for a set, it's just not a good push. Let's see. So, yeah, I could see that one being more of a brick for a long period of time. It's going to go up in price, don't get me wrong. It's just not going to perform as well as some of the other ones that have been sold out for a long period of time. But if you're looking at getting into a Sword and Shield Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, it was definitely a great segue into it to still have an advantage here probably in a year or two. Blitzkrieg, Pokemon 5-1, UPC at $99 and $119 at Target. LOL. Really? Wow, that's I would buy every one of them. 151 Ultra, because that thing was like $230. Yeah, I don't want a case. That's a little extreme. Like, why is it $1,000 with no? It's a case. Okay, let me fix this. Ultra Premium. You gotta be careful because it's weird the way they do that. That's a case. Where is the Ultra Premium Collection? The Ultra Premium Collection. Here we go. 151 Ultra Premium Collection. So $277. If you can buy it there, you're gonna 2.5 times your money right away. So do nothing. Do nothing investments right now. That's what we got. Are you buying into Vivid Voltage soon to sell out hype? Am I buying into to sell on the hype? No. Go look at Vivid Voltage. I mean, Vivid Voltage has been steadily moving up. I mean, we're finally at 165. Another set, it's been steadily moving up, but I think we're getting run into another plateau on this one as well. It's just been a slow mover. Overall, the set just isn't very strong again. I mean, Vivid Voltage got that Rainbow Pikachu. I thought, it actually did exactly what I thought might happen is we would see a spike with Surging Sparks because of the Rainbow Pikachu. So it did do a little bit of like I talked about, back in September, October. I said I had hopes for Vivid Voltage to have a little bit of a boost with Surging Sparks with the Rainbow Pikachu look because people would do Rainbow Pikachu, new people in the hobby, and see the old Rainbow Pikachu, which would then have a spike in the Rainbow Pikachu. So, once again, we're looking at what can spark people to move, and that was one of them that I saw as well. I mean, even the price of the Rainbow Pikachu has stayed pretty steady. I mean, we haven't seen any real big values. Well, I guess I might gotta change it to condition. Gotta always watch that because TCG Player likes to pull up the lightly played sometimes, and I never understand it. So even if you look at the Rainbow Pikachu, we saw a spike right when Surging Sparks released as well. So it went up it was at 108 and it spiked up to 130 during the release of Surging Sparks. Once again, sometimes releasing something that's similar will create a market in the old stuff. That's where sometimes reading this thing like iFomo and I were talking about just in here earlier was the megas. Megas being released might create megas that go up in value in the past as well. Because when people type in Mega Charizard, Mega Pidgeotto, all these megas, the tendency is people will actually see the older ones too and potentially buy them as well. So it's something that could definitely hurt. That could happen. So Agent Crypto, I'm gonna get down to the last four here with Agent Crypto, and then James, I'll get your four done, and then I have to call it quits because I'm exhausted. I've been up since 4 this morning. The last 2 days with it being negative 30 degrees, so I'm a little cooked. Agent Crypto question: What with all Sword and Shield pumping right now, is Hidden Fates a buy? Not even back to $300 per ETB yet. Sun and Moon era. Hidden Fates has always surprised me. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Um, Hidden Fates does not make sense to me in a lot of ways because I always thought that that set would do extremely well, and it did when it first came out and it had its big surge. It was up to $300, over $300, and then it came back down to about 125, and now it's been steadily crawling closer and closer to that, trying to climb back to that at this point in time. But right now it's at 200. What are we at? $223 in TCG Player. It's averaging about 195 right now on eBay. And I'm looking at auctions, and it's still selling about 180, 175. There's a couple at 200 auctions. So just an idea. I mean, you're still sitting at under $200 for ATB. I always suspected that it would do better than what it's done, but it just always seems to underperform, and I don't understand why on that particular set. I don't know if it's because of all the fact that we keep getting all of these reprints of baby shinies that it just keeps diluting it so much in the market that people are losing interest in it. Because the Charizard does fairly well. If we pull open, and look at the Charizard side of things, and we go to that single. So if I go sets and I go down to Hidden Fates and we pull open the Charizard's now back up to $478. And that's done fairly well inside the box because it was down to almost 300 at one point. And it's doing a slow growth back as well. But it's just interesting. It just never really seems to get off the ground and get moving. Because let's see, so 6 months ago it was at 350, and now we're up to 425. So it's been gaining too, and it's been a consistent gain on that as well. So it's another one. I don't understand. Hidden Fates is one of them sets I always thought would do a lot better than what it's done. It's done well. It's continued to have traction. It continues to move forward. But to be honest with you, when I see everything else around it doing so well, even the tag team sets, we're seeing all them tag team sets doing so well. I think part of the factor is to the point where it's like, okay, is it just because it doesn't have, that lust of the tag teams in it? I mean, I don't know. When you go to Sun and Moon, are you thinking tag teams? So that's why you're not purchasing into it, because it has some really nice cards, the Gardevoir GX, the Lucario GX, the Darkrai GX. Or is it going to take another GX jump, a set to, or a GX era again to make them pop? The Mewtwo GX. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite Mewtwo's when it comes down to the shiny, only shiny Mewtwo. But I think for the artwork, I do enjoy that Mewtwo GX out of there. It's a really, really nice, clean, nice looking card. Sylveon GX and the Umbreon GX. I thought that Umbreon GX would see a little bit of a spike with all the Umbreon fads, and it's now with the release of Prismatic Evolutions, we've seen a jump in it again. I mean, it went from roughly about $130 up to 170. So we see a $40 jump in that card as well at the end of the year here from January 1st on. I just thought it would do better. I thought in general that it would be a better performing set. It's just been really, really slow. And that either means people are still tiptoeing around it for some reason. There's not something that's drawing it in. We got to have PokeRev do a 500 pack opening of it. I don't know what we need to do to get the hype back on it. But I got a feeling if hype were to come up on it, it would probably move fairly quickly. Do I think it's a good buy right now at around $200? I don't think it's a bad buy. I just feel it's going to be a really slow performers. Agent Crypto, thoughts on people fighting for blooming wires? Absolutely stupid. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. It's not worth it. If you're fighting for it, it makes absolutely no sense. I said that back in 2020 and 2021. I will say it again now. If you're fighting for this, you're dumb, and you have no business buying these products. If I was a shop man or a business owner and saw that, I would honestly never put these products out. You guys can just wait until you guys can behave like adults. James from Alamo City. 3 Shrouded Fable Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes and 1 Battle Styles booster box on Pokemon Center, which is the better long-term play. Jesus. That's kind of a cruel one, James. I'm not going to lie. Long-term play. I would put it on Battle Styles. Honestly. I think that Tyranitar in general has better opportunity. So let's just take a look at the history of both of those. So if I go back to Battle Styles and we pull up the history of Battle Styles booster boxes right now, I gotta go to sealed product. So if we go to sealed product and go to Battle Styles booster boxes, we're over MSRP finally. So right now, if you bought it, they're selling right now for $155 on TCG Player. Yeah, it's a tough one. It really is a tough call. I'm not even gonna try and sugarcoat this, but you know, even at the beginning of August, we were at 125 on eBay and we were at 130 on TCG Player. So even over the last 3 months, we've seen some decent gains on both of them on TCG Player and eBay. So we are seeing some value shift. We're seeing some value increase in Battle Styles at this point in time. Now, if we go back to, let's just say we go back to Shrouded Fable. The problem is what I have with Shrouded Fable is that it's got some things right now because they're playable. But what collector is going to want a golden earthen vessel after the playability dies down on this set? When earthen vessels go out of rotation, who is going to want an earthen vessel for a collection? I'm not. I have a lot of gold cards. I think there's some really good gold cards. A earthen vessel is not going to be one of them. Not going to lie. The Persian is probably one of your stronger illustrator rares, and the Houndoom is going to follow right behind it with the Duskull, Dusknoir, and Dusclops set. But all the rest of these are going to really depend on, once again, it's like an Urshifu set. You're hoping that some of these other newer Pokemon that are in this set take off, and I just don't know if they will. Once again, it's playability in this set rather than actual set identity and collectability. And that's going to be where you're going to run into a problem with any of these particular products. So even the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes right now, you know, they're $70 on eBay. They're $65 on TCG Player. So if you go to Pokemon Center right now, I believe, what were they, $60 for them coming off of the... So PokemonCenter.com. I should have a hot tab on my computer. It's on my phone. So if I go here, we go to the trading card game, and I pull up Elite Trainer boxes. So right now, just so you know too, Astral Radiance Elite Trainer boxes are back up. Oh, nope, out of stock. Never mind. Oh, and I click them stock. So, and we can still get those. They're $60. So, I don't know. The problem is that I would honestly go with Battle Styles just because I think the Tyranitar in the booster box factor is going to be better than the performance of this Shrouded Fable Elite Trainer box from Pokemon Center. That's just my feelings. Overall gains, I think, will be better. If I was going to choose, I would choose Battle Styles. I think that there's probably a better chance that as all the rest of the alternate art sets keep going up, it's going to naturally drag Battle Styles behind it, because if people want the alternate arts, you got to have Battle Styles. I mean, if you're like me and you wanted all the alternate arts and someone comes in new and wants all the alternate arts, you got to buy Battle Styles. You can't get away from it. Even though there's only 4 of them or 6 of them in there, you still got to buy it in order to complete the set. So you're going to be at the commitment of, if I want all the alternate arts, if I want a complete set of alternate arts, then I'm going to be forced into buying it. And I don't see that happening I don't see anything in the set except for Illustrator Rares. I guess if you want all the Illustrator Rares, you're going to have to buy it. But I just see more performance opportunity in Battle Styles, personally. Agent Crypto question: is Crown Zenith undervalued? $7 a pack for the best specialty Sword and Shield set seems cheap. I think so, but the amount of reprints, they're still working through it, and people's attention spans have changed and moved into different directions as well. So I think that Crown Zenith will have its day. I think it's going to continually move good in the market. Do I think that you could jump in at this point in time and have value? Yes. I think you'll have a decent investment every year on that particular set as time moves forward. Is it necessarily undervalued? I don't think it's really undervalued just because there is a lot of stock available of it out there. It's easy to find battle styles, or battle styles. It's easy to find Crown Zenith, honestly. It's still showing up on our shelves today. I just bought all these mini tins also off the shelf. I mean, it's not hard to find. If it's not hard to find, it's not going to go up in value. That's why Astral Radiance is still slacking too, is you can still find Astral Radiance on the shelf. There's 3-pack blister or 3-pack boxes of Astral Radiance all over in every store I go to. So even with the lack of Pokemon products, people still are not buying Astral Radiance booster packs. And James says, "Sorry, Andy, not a problem. I'm willing to take the hard questions." Thanks. James says, "Great points, or great point." Also, they missed the mark by having the 2 promos in the set as the chase cards. Exactly, and that's one of the big things that I really have a dispute with. If you would have left a Greninja or the Kingdra or both in the set, I would have taken out like the Monkey Dory or one of the other. I would have taken out one of the other sets, like the what is the Fezidente. I would have pulled that out as a promo before I pulled out the Greninja and the Kingdra out of this set. Because once you pulled them 2 out, it really those would have been your chase. Those were the chase cards. The Gambit was fine. I would have done the Gambit. I would have pulled out like the Monkey Dory or the what is it, the Okie Dokie. I would have pulled them 2 out and made a promo set on those rather than what they did. Because have you seen the price of those boxes? I was losing track of them. Actually, I'm kind of glad because they've been sitting on my Walmart shelf and nobody's been buying them. So they've been there for like 4 months, just sitting on the shelf. And the Greninja box right now is selling for $60, and the Kingdra box is selling for $38. So they're making a move all of a sudden on these particular ones as well. So granted, the Kingdra is, the thing is that the Kingdra box is actually $30. MSRP is $29.99 on those. So you're right at it to the point where you'll break even right now on the Kingdra box, but it is moving in the upward direction. So that's what we like to see, is an upward movement on a sale. So from TCG Player, we were at $27 roughly on November, and we're up to $38 right now here on the end of January. So we're seeing some really good movements on even the Kingdra box. But that Greninja EX box in the last 3 months has just been absolutely insane, because it went from, same thing, $28, and now today, so we were at $34 in November, to today we are at $59, which is the recent sale on TCG Player. So those 2 boxes are doing better and have more gains than any of the other, even the cards in that set. So those 2 boxes alone are outperforming all of the other products in that set. So if you would purchase those 2 boxes, you would do really well. And if I go to cards, so if I go back to sets right now, I know that the Kingdra is like $14 for that one, and the Greninja was actually more than the price of the box. I think the Greninja alone was like $35 for that promo card. So there again, we've got some really high-powered promos inside of these boxes that are doing extremely well also. Yeah, so right now, the Greninja is $33, and the Kingdra right now is $20. So $20 for the Kingdra card, and you're looking at $32 for the Greninja card raw. So once again, can't go wrong when you can get those pricing. James, absolutely agree. Crown Zenith will age like a fine wine. The last yellow border set with the best gold cards ever. Yes, absolutely agree. I think that overall Crown Zenith is just going to be one of those nice sets. There's a lot to it. It's going to move really, really up at a nice pace. It's going to be a very steady gain. You're going to see this set just slowly move. And it's not going to be any explosiveness, I don't think. You're not going to see any real shoots on it where it just like goes way out of whack or way out of sorts where it explodes in this huge numbers. I think we're just going to see a nice, slow gain consistently on this particular product. And you look at all the products, that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, now the Crown Zenith Elite Trainer box. I mean, you look at the last 3 months or last 6 months, it's a nice steady moving up at a nice little pace all the way through. Last 6 months have just been a nice steady gain. The tin cases, same thing, nice steady movement up. I mean, you can pull open any of the sealed products right now, and they're just doing extremely well. So overall, it's going to be a nice fine wine. It's just going to continue to age nicely. Even the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box went from 114 6 months ago, and it's now almost $200. So we're seeing value increases on all these products. They're doing really well, and Crown Zenith in general is just being a nice, slow-moving, great, great moving set. I mean, even that Sea and Skybox right now, if you can pick that up for $70 right now, or at MSRP right now on that particular product, right now it's selling for $105. So you got a little bit of value on them Sea and Skyboxes as well. So overall, they're all doing extremely well, and all these products are doing really well in Crown Zenith. Nice little investment. We talked about that one when it first came out, that it was just a good idea to kind of hang back and let her ride and not buy in, because originally the hype and FOMO was extremely high in this set. We got a ton of reprint on this. We've been able to buy it as you want and kind of keep building in on it. And now you can just slowly kind of sell it out into the market and keep moving. Even those little three-pack blisters of them is doing really well. They're all around 20. They're all around $24 to $30 right now, even for the littlest products inside of here. So overall, good investment, nice steady gains, nice steady products, really, really clean products that are doing extremely well. So it's just going to be a fine wine. Take your time, relax, buy in at any time at this point. I think you're going to be happy with the results in 5-10 years. I don't think you're going to have any regrets for doing so in 5 to 10 years. So, well, guys, it is 10:30. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Once again, greatly appreciated to have you guys in here. I'm going to have to call our quits for tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you leave. Also, consider hitting that membership one more time. I am going to continue to try and push that out there a little bit, just so you guys can fund my coffee fund. That's my goal this year, is to try and fund my coffee fund. So by doing so, you're just basically buying me 1 day worth of coffee. I'm trying to get 30 members so that every day of the month I can get a little bit of coffee. So that's basically my goal for 2025. Picker Mike said, any thoughts on the Pokemon trading classics or classic trading game as an investment? I think that investment was a very short-term burned out section of the Pokemon TCG. I think that I can still get it from distributor, so it's still available from distributors. It's a very slow-moving product because I think the price, number one, is a big issue. And the cards inside of that, I mean, the cards kind of got burnt out really fast on that as well. Let's be 100% honest. The sets, they were just a very specialty item, and the play was right when it came out. And that's why I kind of stayed out of it when I saw the price on it. I made that clear when it came out. I think that was going to be one of those sets that was a race to the bottom. And I don't like getting into something that I know was a race to the bottom, because if one thing goes wrong on that race to the bottom, then you crash, and it's not worth it. And then either A, you got to make the decision, do I want to sit on this particular product forever, or do I want to sell it at a loss? And it's just not something that I personally think is going to be a great investment overall, but it's definitely something that is still available. It's still out there, and yeah, it's just going to be slow going for any kind of gain on it. If you kept it sealed in pristine condition, I could see it maybe getting some value futuristically. I just don't know overall long term what my feeling is totally on that. I felt like it was a chase at the beginning to try and get the PSA 10s, get that grade, and then get it back out and sell it on eBay as fast as possible. I picked a 4 at $250 Canadian, which is half of what it was 6 months ago. So if I go right now, let me just check Southern Hobby real quick. So if I go on the Southern Hobby right now, they're available right now for US. I can get them right from the distributor for $269. Sent to my house right now from the distributor. So, like I said, you're right at what the wholesale price is at. So you're getting them right at distro pricing at this point. Do I think it's a bad play? I think it's going to be a very slow moving play. I don't think that you're going to see it come off of that 250. I mean, unless there's a value. I don't know the Canadian market as well, but Because I mean, if you know, I go here to the Classic. So if I even go and look at that right now, they're in U.S. market, they're 237. So if I were to buy them even from distributor at this point in time, and it's been nothing but a straight down in price. So they're just, the graph is just dropping. So I think it's a long term move. Nothing's a bad move. It's just that might be a long term move, and the long term move might be breaking them down at some point and getting the cards out and potentially trying to grade them and sell singles might be your better value out of that particular set. But even that right now is going to be pretty rough. So other than that, guys, thank you everybody for joining in. Once again, make sure you guys hit that like button if you made it this far. Well, no, you're not overpriced. You're priced at the current, you know, in Canada, you're probably at the current market from what for the conversion rate, because I'm just looking at it. $250 Canadian is a little bit. You're right at what we would pay for it. So right now you're right at market value. They just pretty much sold out of it for probably market value or what they got it for from their distributor or in a bulk order that they probably got. So I don't think it's going to drop any further. I just don't know when it's going to come back up. I think that's the bigger question. So, other than that, guys, thank you everybody once again. Greatly appreciated. I will try and change the ads. I didn't realize that you change it to like this moderate ad, so it's putting a ton of them on there. So I hope that when you get to this point in the video, the ads weren't too bad, and that way you can not have to sit there and watch through all those. I do apologize for that. So once again, thank you everybody for joining in. Greatly appreciated. Once again, if you guys do want to support me, make sure you hit that membership, join in, and give me a cup of coffee on these cold days is greatly appreciated. Otherwise, we will have a video coming out later this week. Yeah, no problem. And there might be a lot of streamers breaking it. I don't see it very often in the streamers that I follow, but I'm sure that people do break them down and sell the singles. That's what I'm saying. You might have to do some things to sell on that. That's why I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I'm looking at it as a sealed investment. As a sealed investment, it might take a long time to have value. If you break it down and start doing some grading things, you know, trying to maybe break it into parts, you might do better on that part of it and have some opportunities. So otherwise, thank you guys, everybody. Once again, I hope to see you next time on the live, and we will be putting out a video later this week. So if you guys could hit like, share, and make sure you join on the videos as well to help out the channel and keep things moving. Other than that, as always, we'll be here next Tuesday live at 8:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. Central Time here on Northwoods CCG. Otherwise, we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.